Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 174. It is Wednesday morning, beautiful morning, and I am on my way. A couple setbacks this morning, but got my kid to school who's always late, and I am on the road. Nice morning right now, 73 degrees. I am looking at the sun shining behind a cloud with the beautiful rays of sunshine. I'm ready to go. Yesterday was a little frustrating that I couldn't play out that play, but I guess I saved a couple $100. If my outcome was the same as the person who played it, I would have lost a few $100 on it. So we'll see. We'll live to fight another day. Right now, for the week, I think I am ahead around 2,700. I did update my spreadsheet for the year. I was way behind. I was about 3.5 weeks behind, I think, or 3 weeks behind. But I did get everything updated. And basically, August has not been a good month. I had time off this month multiple times. I had big setbacks a couple times, big drops a couple times, and I think I am roughly ahead between 10 and 11,000 for the month. But there's still time to save it, and I must have been ahead of schedule at the end of July, because right now I'm only about 3,000 behind where I need to be. So we could definitely get that. So I guess what I'm saying is, for the year, we're in good shape. Just having a lot of huge swings right now, but moving in the right direction at the same pace that I usually do. So it's just kind of odd. You would think that you're betting bigger and having bigger swings, then your EV is more, and maybe I'm just a little behind on the EV right now. That's really what's going on. I had an episode I tried to publish last night, but I checked it this morning and it hadn't published, so I just sent it out, so hopefully Apple picks it up. My viewership looks like it's slightly more Apple than Spotify, and then 5 or 6 smaller, I don't know what they call them. What do you call them? Listening podcast apps. But Apple's like 45%, Spotify's like 36 or 37%, and then the rest. So when Apple doesn't publish, it's a big deal. It makes a big difference. I'm like, why is the viewership so low? And then I check Apple and it's not there. So, but really, that's what's going on right now. I'm heading out. I have to stop and get gas before my first stop, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I was in there entirely too long, way too long, and all basically on one machine, and it just took me for a ride. So you remember the machine I was talking about yesterday that was $30 a spin? Well, this place does not have high denomination versions of that game, so the highest that this one goes is $3 a spin. So at $3 a spin, I walk up and it's in good position. I start playing it, and it extends the play and extends the play and extends the play. And you remember yesterday how I was worried about losing so much money at $30 a spin. Well, at my lowest point on this one, I was down almost 1,100, which would mean that's the equivalent of almost 11,000 at the $30 level. So that's how bad it can get. I finally ended up leaving that machine down 400, but I was already down another 270 from another machine, and just things never got better. Went to another one and lost some on that, and overall just ended up getting crushed on the slots. I walked around, I couldn't find anything else to play, and I thought, man, I hate to play blackjack here, but I'm gonna do it. They have 2 playable blackjack tables at this place. 2, that's it. And I went around and checked all the slots and finally said, I'm going to do it. Try to get some money back with the blackjack. I went back there. I sit down and it's a no mid-shoe entry. Someone had played about one deck. So they took the shoe out, the cards out of the shoe, and they got the new cards out of the shuffler. See, he puts them in front of me. I'm bending down to tie my shoes. I look up, I see that he's ready for me to cut. I pick up the cut card, I cut, and then I hear the pit boss saying, no, 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 no. And I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on here? Because I've known this pit boss for a while, and he was around when I had some issues here before with blackjack, so I instantly thought, oh, he's not even going to let me play. And what worried me was I'd already played slots first using my card. I'd run about $7,000 through that machine, so I played a lot of slots before this. And so he walks over, I sit up, he walks over, and the dealer had left the bottom card in the shuffler. So I'm like, okay, so what? Big deal. You know where it goes. I mean, he hasn't moved the cards from my cut, so it goes at the bottom. No, you can't do it. So he made him hand shuffle just one time through instead of the normal 2 times through when you hand shuffle. And then I said, all right, you got it all lucky for me. It's ready to go. And he's like, yep. Sit down, start playing. Hang in there. I do okay. And I don't play long. I made okay money, and just with this place, you don't want to be there a long time. And I ended up leaving the blackjack table ahead $575. But I had lost $875 on the slots. So I'm starting my day with a loss of $300, exactly $300. So not the best, but I can tell you that slot machine gave me so many big payouts, but then it fizzled out and I got killed. I played it the right way, and there's nothing more I could have done, but that's just the way it turned out. So I think it might have been a message saying I could have done this to you yesterday, but I gave you a free walk yesterday. So anyway, right now it's already 10:30, and I'm still over an hour away from my next spot, and it's 82 degrees outside, cloudy skies, and off to a rough one here. I'm a little exhausted emotionally from the ups and downs of that one, and really not wanting to play blackjack at that casino, so I'm glad I got out of there with no issues. So right now we're going to move on to another casino, and this casino has been tough for me lately, so hopefully I have some positive variance today, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I'm back. So didn't really have much of a shot here. Going to the next spot and check out the slots first, and found one play initially and played that one. Actually, there were 2 of them next to each other. One was better than the other, so I played the better one. It was a lower denomination. I ended up losing about $45 on that, $35. And before I could move to the other one, a guy came over and played that one, and he actually lost money on that one. So then I looked around a little bit more, and I found another play. Went through with that one and ended the session ahead $2. So only $2 there. Then went to play some blackjack, and there were 2 tables open. One of them was a reserve table, so I couldn't get in on that. And the other one had 3 people on there. I wasn't going to sit around and wait for everyone and all their stupid side bets so I could play. So I decided to walk away from that. And then I did play one other thing that I haven't talked about on here before, so just leave that as it is. And that one was plus 115, so just 115 on one small play and $2 on the slots, and that was it. So right now we are moving on to another place,
see if we can have a chance. I can't believe that this time of the day there's no blackjack available, but that's what they're doing. They're getting all the carnival games out and all the free bet games out, but no blackjack right now. So moving on to the next place, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So I go into this next place, go to slots first, look around, see nothing. I go to the blackjack area, and there are two tables. One is no mid-shoe, just started the shoe, and the other one is a full table, and that was just my doorbell that just rang. That's Costco coming to pick up those recliners that I bought. Not to get off the subject here, but I am going to go to Amish country this weekend, and we're just going to order a sectional from there and whatever. It's going to take like 3 months to make it, but I don't mind. Give them like 30% down. They let me pay them in cash. I get a discount for cash, and then I pay them the balance when they come to my house. And I've given them $8,000 or $9,000 in cash. No problem, no issues. They don't even count it. They just give me the receipt. They're good people. So anyway, go to the high limit area. Blackjack, nothing there. Low limit, blackjack is full, bad rules, blah, 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 blah. One thing on top of another on top of another. So I take it easy. I take another lap. I look at slots again. I find a couple small plays. I'm ahead like $52, $54, somewhere in there. And then I go back to the high limit again. And the guy at the table that was no mid-shoe was just getting up. Later on, I talked to him, and he said that he was down as much as 8,000, but in half a shoe made that whole 8,000 back. And I saw he was cashing out like 12 or 13,000, so I believe him definitely. So I sit down, I start playing, and my waitress friend comes over, gives me a water, and she's like, I think you should bet 200 on the first hand. And I'm like, no, I appreciate that, but I just like betting minimum for a while and see how the shoe goes and see the flow. And so that first hand, I get a double down hand and I lose. So that would have been pretty bad to start down $400 on the first hand. But I had a pretty reasonable time while I was playing there. It wasn't too shaky, and actually I think the most I was down was a couple hundred, and I ended up leaving ahead $1,250, so plus $1,250 on the blackjack. And then I went back to the slots again and found a couple more plays, and actually ended up ahead 175 on the slots. So all that is good. I'm feeling good right now. Everything is going well, and now I'm going to a place where I've had some shaky days lately as well, and we'll see how it goes. But just got to keep my cool and keep calm. I just got myself a nice salad, and I'm eating that right now. I'm gonna park my car, finish my salad, and check in with home, see how everybody's doing, and then I'm gonna go in here and make some money, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I'm back. So just had probably my worst session of the year at blackjack. I get on this blackjack table, and only a couple cards have been dealt so far. Asian guy sitting there, and I ask him if he minds if I get in, and he wants me to wait till the next shoe. So I sit there and I count his shoe all the way through with the idea that if he got up, maybe I could play it out. And my friend is a pit boss there, and he would give me a new shoe if I wanted it. So at the end of his play, there was probably 5 or 6 hands left before the shuffle, and I had a true 6. So I start right away with 2 hands at 500 and doubles, and just got pummeled right away. I was in $4,000 in the first couple hands. Go on to the next shoe. Endless losing shoe. Stuff you've never seen before. I know. I'm not even exaggerating. When you have a 4-card 20 that you have to hit and hit and hit to get to it, and then the dealer has a small card or a 7, let's say, and they get a 6 card or a 7 card, and they beat your 20 over and over and over every hand. And I'm playing one hand, I spread to 2. I've been playing just one hand, even if the count's high, but I decided to spread to 2 and the count was high, because that way, this was later on. So after the first shoe of playing 2 hands, I went to playing one hand for a while, and then later, as things were still not good, I went back to playing 2 hands when the count was high, and was just getting destroyed. No matter what I was doing, just getting destroyed. And at the end of the last shoe, I was in for 9,000. My friend had me in for 2,500 or 2,200, something like that. And I rebought 5 times at 1,000 apiece, been played 2 by 500 and lost every hand, and the shoe ended. And I'm like, how can you even imagine this happening? How does this happen? And from the very first shoe, the things that I was seeing were ridiculous. Just the way that the cards were coming out. 2 high cards, 2 low cards, 2 high cards, 2 low cards. And or 4 or 5 aces in a row. It's like, come on, this doesn't happen. So very frustrated, very upset. I've only got less than an hour left. I spent a couple hours in there, and luckily for me, I have extra time today that I can spend, but I still have less than an hour left now. So going to a different casino, and then I'm gonna head home. I can only spend like 45 minutes here, and we'll see what happens. But I ended up losing $14,000, spreading from one hand at 100 to 2 hands at 500 or one hand at 1,000. And just disgusting. Was never ahead from the first hand. And slot wise, I did make money. I made 605. But other than that, it was all very, very bad. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So it's just it's been an exhausting day, emotionally exhausting, psychologically exhausting. Just a terrible day. Did everything I was supposed to do. Put the big bets out there when I was supposed to. Oh, I didn't tell you. The count was actually high enough that I was supposed to double an 8 against a 6. And I did that twice on that first shoe. And both times I got like a 4 or 5 and ended up losing the hand. So that was just, don't know what to say. You do all the right things mathematically, and unfortunately, our bankroll is not endless. You have 4 or 5 days like that, you got to change your bet spread. So right now, back to rebuilding. I think now I'm about even or slightly down for the month. This time last week, I was up like 16 or 18,000 for the month, and that is just so painful, so bad. But right now, I just left the next casino, just trying to shake this feeling. I'm just like, can't shake it. Just having a horrible time with it. I ended up just playing a few slots in there, and ended ahead $244, but just overall not good. It's just man, I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless. Man. Well, be going to a big area as well. It's going to be very high limit tables as well. So maybe we can get a piece of it back tomorrow. If not, I may just take Friday off. We'll go on Saturday to look at that furniture stuff and get stuff ordered. And this is the last thing I wanted before that. I wanted to add on to my bankroll, not take a big cut in my bankroll, but what am I going to do? So, because I have nothing else to say right now, I'm just going to let you go. And things will come to me in a little while when things calm down, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I went into the next casino, and I see a bunch of advantage players crowded around a new machine that looks like it could be beatable, but no. Oh, no. It is not beatable, and they don't know it. And they are messing around with it, putting money in there, chasing their dreams, and they're making a big mistake. But what am I going to do? I'm just one guy. So I look around, and I find a play. Let me think, did I play more than one play? I did. I played it through, made like $40, and then looking around and wasn't finding much, especially since all those guys were in there. And I finally find another one and play that one through and make another $30 or so. And then I cash out my ticket and I go get some free drinks and stuff like that for my drive home. And I'm going to need to stop for gas, by the way, again. And then I find one more machine and I play that one through. And by the time I'm done with that one, I end up leaving ahead $122. So right now I'm going to make a decision because of the crazy swings that I've had. I'm going to change my bet spread from 100 to 1,000 or 50 to 1,000. I'm going to drop it down to 50 to 500 or 25 to 500 and see how that goes for a little while and kind of pick up the pieces, re-examine my game, go through some drills. And I don't believe that I did anything wrong there. I don't have any proof. I don't have anyone around me that could tell me, but everything that I saw was correct. I'm pretty sure I've got everything in order. And so if I back off a little bit, take it slow, and lower my spread a little bit, it's not going to hurt me at all. All it's going to do is I'm going to reinforce that I'm doing things right, and everything's going to be all right. So I'm going to do that. Tomorrow is going to be another big day. I'm going to have only probably 2 opportunities with that bet spread. There'll be at least 2 places I won't be able to play with that bet spread unless I want to go 8 deck, which I don't want to do. Other than that, I'm also going to, right now on my way home, I'm going to think more about what I'm doing with slot machines, and is it worth it for me to skip certain places and not visit them anymore. And I'm going to look at the charts tonight, and I'm going to see which places I'm deficient at and which ones I'm proficient at, because if a casino is only making me $20 a visit, even if it's only 20 minutes away from my normal route that I go, so that adds 40 minutes to my trip, is it worth it? So I'm going to look at my charts. I'm going to put everything in order by casino tonight, and see how things are going this year, compare them to last year. I'll have some numbers for you tomorrow, and really examine what I'm doing and see if I can tighten things up a little bit. Now, with that said, there are multiple casino companies that I have never played rated at, and I'm going to examine whether or not it's going to make sense for me to maybe set up a card there and play there. And so just a lot of inner searching that I'm going to do, and get to the bottom of all this. And my hunch is that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just going through a downswing right now, and hopefully, things turn around. Before this session, before today, I was only $5,000 off my all-time high, which was set last week, right before my drop. So, just to give you an idea, I was at I think I was at 670K profit. So, and now I believe now it's whatever, a lot less than that. So, I've been looking forward to 700K for a long time here, it seems like. But I think I need to step back and not be so eager, do things right, do things deliberately, and even if it means missing a day or two of play, because right now my life is go to bed, wake up, immediately go to work, immediately go to the casino, immediately back to work, go home, do stuff for the kids, and go to bed. And on days that I travel, I wake up, I go straight to the casinos, I come home, I do the kids stuff, and immediately go to bed. I'm in bed before the kids a lot of times, and I really don't have a life other than that. So it may make sense for me to sit back and relax and examine the numbers. Why am I keeping thousands of lines of numbers if I'm not going to use it? So, and I don't quote me on this, but I believe I've already had 776 sessions of either blackjack or slots or both. So if I visit a casino, that's a session this year. So we're in the 240th day or so of the year, and I've had over 770 sessions. So I've kept myself pretty busy, and it may make sense to take a step back and examine all that stuff. I hope I don't portray myself as being a know-it-all, because I don't feel that way. I always want to learn. I always want to get better. So when downswings happen like this, I want to examine what I'm doing wrong, and I want to do things better. So I want to be a perfectionist about it, and not have my ego be in the way. So that's where I am right now. Right now, I'm heading toward home. I'm going to need to stop for gas. I'm going to one of my kids' games, and I'm going to take them home and enjoy some time with the family. When the kids go to sleep, I'm going to work on my spreadsheets and get some numbers and some ideas about what's going on, and really examine what I'm doing, compare it to last year, and see where I am, and then decide what I'm going to do going forward. But most likely tomorrow is going to be the same as scheduled. So that's what's going on. All right, right now 88 degrees outside, blue skies, very few clouds in the sky, heading toward home, and I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.